How we doing, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my Ultimate Beginner's Crafting Guide. This is going to be our second to last episode, but the final big episode, we'll put it that way, because the next one is going to be on crafting flasks and how to go about it, which is going to be rather short compared to all of the other episodes. But this one is going to be a lot of fun, because I have gotten us a crit of Warlord's Ring, and we are going to mess around with this and see what we can come up with. It's going to be very, very interesting. Now, if you've just found this video, I would recommend taking a look at episode 1, 2, and 3. If you are a long-time subscriber and just found this and was wondering why I'm doing PoE content, do take a look at episode 3. It will explain everything during the first few minutes, during the early preamble. But, with that being said, let's go ahead and have some fun, shall we? So I am going to be sticking to the same strategy I've been using for the past few videos, which is to make spellcaster gear, as well as to make a melee gear. Most of my experience is from making melee gear, of course, because that is what I primarily played, to show off some of the highlight gear we've made very quickly. We've got some boots that are exceptionally good. We have some rather good amulets as well. That one's quite nice. This other one here is a little bit broken. Put it that way to put it lightly, because you can still craft on that. Yeah, things are pretty good. Average gloves. Hell, I had a good helmet roll. Rerolled it obviously for showcase. Yeah, same thing with the belt. But we are going to have a good time this time. Let's see. Hopefully, I'm going to get some interesting stuff on this Warlord's Ring. Now, I want to talk about rings kind of in general. There's a lot of things you can do with them. They are, for the most part, similar to necklaces in the way that I use them, which is a problem solver. Now, the reason that I use them like that is because 2-stone rings are by far and away the best way of getting resistances. The problem is that you sacrifice a lot of damage in regards to getting resistances, because you can't get both most times. You can if you get like a perfect god roll, I guess, but most times it generally seems to be one or the other. The ring's either full damage or it's full survivability. So what you can do is you can plan around this, right? If there's a specific piece that you want, before you create the character, you can plan around what sort of gear you're going to go for. So in our case, our Warlord's Ring, I believe, let me take a look here very quickly at some of the Warlord's stuff, can give us Curse on Hit with Vulnerability or Curse on Hit with Flammability as a suffix, which is very, very nice, right? And we know now, as a result, that that's going to take a lot to get. Obviously, it's on the item by default because it's the way I bought it. I'm going to scour it and roll it myself. But you can look into things during your path building, character building, right? And realize what you want or what you need. So, in this case, we are going to be using our rings for damage. Well, what does that mean for the rest of the character? Well, that means that we're going to be needing resistances elsewhere to make up for that fact, right? Because we want to use our rings for damage. So the helmet, gloves, boots, and belt and chest piece are going to primarily be resistance pieces to get us to res cap. And then past that, we can utilize necklace as a problem solver for stats if need be. And then the rings can start to get interesting. You can get an entire build that's just like life tri-res, maybe attack speed or fizz damage here, life tri-res, life, percent on kill, elder chest piece. If you can manage that, you're in business. Big life leather belt, abyssal belt with some extra stuff on it, and then what am I trying to say? Influenced. and then whatever weapon you want. And you can make a banging build just with a setup like that. And by influence, I mean towards whatever you're playing, basically. So, like, you know, if you're playing stuff that could use like Hunter mods, or stuff that could use Crusader mods, you know, Crusader, Hunter, Warlord influence, whatever have you. In our case, it'd be Warlord influence. So it would just be exactly like I said, you know, Elder chess piece, Warlords, and then Shaper necklace with something like this. And that would be sort of my go-to setup. But of course you can plan around that, right? If there's a unique pair of gloves you want or what have you, and they don't have any resistances, face breakers, something I've used many times, you have to get resistances in different spots, which is where resistances on rings and necklaces come in handy. I'm sort of trying to give you as much information as possible, so we're going to get to crafting in just a few moments, but I want to give you all of my experiences, right? I have played both sides of the coin. I have had rings that are very, very powerful. I have had amulets that are very, very powerful. I have also played a facebreaker setup that requires me using like 1, 2, 3, 4 uniques, 5 uniques. Yeah, 5 uniques and no weapon, which results in me having to get a resist cap off 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces, basically. 5 pieces. Yeah, it's not easy. It's doable, but you need some very, very good rolls if you are to go about doing it. You can use a shield as well, but like I've done both sides, and I'm going to showcase to you how to create gear for either side. So, to start us off, we are going to grab ourselves a 2-stone ring. The reason these are so useful is that they have 2 resistances on them, and they go up to 16%. So grab whichever ones you need at the time. It goes fire, lightning, cold, right? You can mix and match them however you want. Check your resistances panel, grab whatever you need, roll off that. The most powerful roll on a 2-stone ring, question for you. It's all res. Right? Because the value, think about it. The implicit itself is already 32% resistance value, right? All res is another 40-ish percent resistance value, right? You're looking at 70% resistance value across the 2 stones. And then you can get more resist on top of that. You can get like 40% fire, 40% cold, 10% all res. Resistance is solved, right? That's a ring worth like a 140% resist value, right? So yeah, that's the sort of stuff you can go for and like use to go to those sorts of lengths to really cap out res with very few pieces. So in our case, we're going to bless it. We're going to hit 16 the first time because of course we are. And then from here, we're going to go about crafting the way that I like to, which is alteration spamming. This is my preferred method of doing things to try and force some exact rolls. Now, 2 stones are going to be very similar across the board, right? We're using 2 stones for the ES gear as well, so I'll just show you with what I come up with, basically, with whatever I roll. Caster builds can use 2-stone rings as well if you need res. However, you can also do the same thing going for damage. It's pretty much the same thing. You can go for 2 stones for resistances. You can go for moonstone rings, which give you plus max energy shield. So if you're going for an ES stacking build, you can do that too and roll energy shield on those. Or you can go for damage rings on there as well, which would basically entail doing everything I'm going to do to the Warlord's ring just for whatever caster modifiers you want, basically. I haven't played many casters recently, so I don't particularly know, but I'm going to assume like a Redeemer or Crusader have like spell damage and like that sort of spell stuff. So get one of those rings or 2 of those rings and roll those towards caster modifiers. It's that simple, really. But yeah, so in that regard, cast speed is tier 1 cast speed is quite good for a caster. Fuck me. Okay, well, good start. Double tier 1s. Well, if you're playing a life caster, that's good, I guess. Yeah. What? Double tier 1s is the first roll of the video. Okay. Okay, sure. Guess it's gonna be a good send-off. I guess it's gonna be a good send-off. Goddamn. Alright, well. And then, I mean, I could regal that, but I want to save the regals for the showcase of the diamond ring. But, yeah, so you could regal this. You could, if it hits resistances, you could craft all res that fills out all of your suffixes with pretty useful stuff and good max life. All in all, not too bad. Depends, obviously. You can just chaos spam this as well if you wanted to really push for resistances. What's really nice in this sort of area is essences. Just forcing 40% resist is really nice in regards to like getting a big resist ring, because you hit the 40% resist and then there's a good chance you get some other kind of resist somewhere or an open slot for all res. It's very easy to force 40% res from an essence and have an open suffix to craft a high all res amount, right? So getting a lot of resistance easily, a lot of resistance fast, is very easy to do with 2 stones through that method. Let's see what else we got going here. Okay, tier 1 life again, I guess, sure. Physical to attacks and strength. Okay, well, physical to attacks is a rather decent rather decent roll. Obviously it's rolled like shit here, but that's a good roll if you want to play face breakers or you want to play a melee build. Obviously you are going to have a bunch of multipliers and you want to have a good base to multiply off of. The more physical damage to attacks that you get, the higher that base will be and the more there is to multiply. So your damage will go up exponentially the more fizz to attacks you have. Just raw high fizz to attacks. So 2 fizz to attacks rings will be good. Whether you use crit rings or steel rings is going to depend on your build if you're going the damage route. The steel rings have implicit fizz to attacks, so you can get fizz to attacks and then roll fizz to attacks again. Right? Simple enough. The crit rings, you can get crit, fizz to attacks, and then crit, and then regal, craft crit again. Yeah, simple enough, right? See what else we can come across, shall we? Max mana, god no. Ew. Yes, I mean, I guess if you need energy shield, I would just go for a moonstone ring if you're gonna do that, however. Personally. That rolled like ass. Big life. Nope. I felt it in my nuts, but it just didn't happen. No, no luck there. Rarity, meh. Honestly. No. Cast speed. It's tier 1 cast speed. I mean, the mana rolled real bad, but oh well. Bad mana? No, I mean, I got like 1 good roll and now we're gonna lose it all. Feels bad. Suffix rarity. Nice, nice. Could be good. Could be something to stop on. Fizz to attacks and fire damage. Niche builds will make good use of that. The percentage increased X damage, like fire damage, lightning damage, what have you, it's really not as good as it sounds. Because 12% increased fire damage, you're like, oh shit, this is really good. And then you look at the numbers on it and it's like 200 DPS. It's kind of underwhelming. You think it's like, you take the total number and then add 12% to it. It's not that at all. It's 12% of like the base number, I think, before all the multiplications are added in. So it just sucks. Or actually, I think it's after the multiplications. Yeah, that's why it does so little damage. I don't know. I don't know the exact math, but the percent increased X really fucking blows. So this is a little more underwhelming than it looks. Put it that way. Resistances and leech. Obviously, the base rolls are underwhelming. Fizz to attacks resists. Life resists. You know how it is. Fizz to attacks, like, it's simple enough. Yep. Max life. Max life res. Max life res. See? Max ES, cold res. Like I said, that's the sort of thing you want for a caster. It's nice to get those back to back. Max life, all res. Damn. Try and show you all res if I can. Rarity, prefix or prefix rarity. Suffix. And all res just doesn't want to happen, does it? Chaos res. Suffix rarity. Meh. Base of Dex. Dex. Feels bad. 9 max life. Okay, but you see what I kind of mean, right? Simple enough. Now what you can also do if you really want some higher tier like rings, or you really need resist, like I said, essences are a good option. Or just do that. Just do that, really. Just alch it, chaos it, and you'll be able to get good resistances fairly easily. 2 stones are not that hard to acquire. So what you can do is go to a vendor in like Act 9, Act 10, and grab all their 2 stones and just go across them with alchs, because you'll get more alchs than you will chaos and solo self-found. So you can just run your way across them all and just see what you get. See if you get anything good. That's a nice way to dispose of alchs, and you don't need to burn scours or anything like that to do it either, because you can just get so many of them. One other thing that I should have said in a couple previous videos, make sure to check vendors. This is really stupid, but I have gotten some of my best gear as like base sets from vendors. That's not a joke. I've found belts that have like 99 max life and resistance, like 99 max life, like 40 resist from a vendor before, and then I've regaled it, hit like plus max HP on it, or no, I regaled it, hit like 30% resist, and then crafted another 30% resist. I'm pretty sure I did that with a leather belt at some point during my career. So do check vendors for 2 stones that might have rolled well, or belts that might have rolled well, or necklaces that might have rolled well. Look through everything while you're there. Might as well. There's a chance you find something exceptional. I have done it a couple of times. It is rare, but you might as well take a look, because you never know what you're passing up, right? Alright, so, as I said, right, simple enough strategy. Just roll it with alterations until you get the setup you want, which is life res, regal it, and then craft on it whatever you want. If you need more resistance, if you need damage, if you need X, Y, Z, etc. If you're looking for damage, opt it towards whatever you need. Simple enough. Go for, added to attacks, fizz to attacks, sort of stuff. You can get attack speed on rings as well, I do believe. You can get attack speed and cast speed. You can't get spell damage, which kind of sucks for casters, obviously. But casters would want moonstone rings primarily because of energy shield. And then get energy shield on that. So you've got implicit ES, prefix ES, and then the rest of the prefixes kind of suck. So then it would just be suffix res cast speed is my recommendation. So, with that being said, let's have some fun, shall we? Let's see what we can make out of our Warlord's Ring. This is going to be fun. So, what we are looking for here is any combination of max life resists, obviously, right? Or a setup involving attack speed and physical damage, like added fizz, attack speed, LE plus crit plus I do believe you can get crit on rings, can't you? I don't see any in here right now, but still. Accuracy rating, yeah. I have PoE DB open on my side monitor, and it's not showing me any crit, which kind of sucks. But LE with attacks, percent fire damage, even though it's not really that great, but it is a thing that exists. Let's take a look at some of the Warlord's modifiers here. Alright, so we are looking at prefix AoE, which is pretty nuts. Chance to ignite and damage to ignited enemies, which is meh. Fire damage per endurance charge, which could be good if you're playing a chieftain or a juggernaut with a lot of charges. Percent increased melee damage. That's a really, really good one. Percent increased melee damage. Added physical attacks. Attack speed. Makes a pretty good ring, I'll be honest with you. Especially you put that on a steel ring or something like that. A Warlord steel ring. That base is going to cost you a lot. But that's where you can start to get real fancy. And then you can use like physical fossils to force that as often as possible. And physical fossils come with its own extra stuff. I don't remember exactly what. But physical fossils will allow you to get a lot of extra damage and force your insane mods very easily. You can get curse on hit vulnerability from forcing physical fossils just over and over and over again. You can get an item that would read percent melee damage, added fist to attacks, max life, attack speed, curse on hit vuln, and then what's the last one? Something else as the last spot. I don't know what it would be exactly, but resists, put extra damage, whatever have you. But something like that is just kind of insane, I'll be honest with you. You get something like that and you're going to use it on every single melee character that you play for the rest of the league. So, let's go about seeing what we can manage. See if we can make anything interesting, anything fun, anything highly crazy. Should be good. Double check our implicit and blessed. 20 to 30. Alright. Good start. Rarity, prefix rarity, and strength. Damn. Alright. Let's get to it, shall we? Attack speed, big money. Max ES. Unlucky. Yes, res, meh. There's the all resist that I was looking for. Alright, so you get this sort of roll, right? Max ES, all resist. And you've got a very nice caster ring on the 2 stones or on the moonstone rings. And you see what I kind of mean now. This exact roll is what I was kind of hoping to show you earlier, but no dice until now. Alright, let's keep it rolling, see if we can come across. Rarity? Meh. Res. Fist attacks, res. Not too bad. Suffix rarity. And max ES, whatever. Ooh, that's nice. That's pretty nice. Good roll. That blows. Oh, with attacks, kind of on the low side. So whatever. Oh, there's the melee damage. Tier 2. There's the melee damage. It's a low roll chance. 1500. That is damn low. Shame it's on mana regen, right? Oh well. You could try to annul this if you want to be real spicy. I don't have the luxury. I don't have any annuls on me right now. But you could try to annul it and you flip a coin basically and then you augment it again and you pray. That is an option in a situation like this if you're really looking for a god tier item, because obviously it's very hard to do to get melee damage, but there's a chance you remove melee damage as well, so you know how it is. But yeah, we're so close but so far. Let's see what else we can manage. This attacks. Int. Damn. Res. I mean, honestly, rolling res isn't gonna do anything for me. I'm probably gonna stop. Cold damage. Max life. Yeah. Res. Oh, res AoE. Nice. Okay. Well, that's a little interesting. Would I regal this? I'm not sure, honestly. I don't think so. Weirdly enough. I don't actually think so. Depends on the build I would be playing, but generally, I don't think so. There's the damage per endurance charge. Interesting, interesting. Not that great on its own, but still. Lightning damage. Mana. Oh. Damage against ignited enemies. Right, we're starting to get through some of the fun stuff. Ellie with attacks. You're seeing how rare the curse stuff is, though, right? Prefix rarity. Prefix rarity is a lot rarer than suffix rarity. In case you're curious why I keep commenting on that. Any good stuff, please. Ignite stuff. Like I said, sometimes it takes a few rolls to get something relatively decent. All in all, not bad. If this was on a default ring, should be a pretty good starting point, I'll be honest with you. If this was on a 2-stone, or just a normal crit ring, or moonstone ring, depending what build you're playing, would be a pretty good starting point. You could craft more res, more life, more ES. Everything's really open to you. But, what I was trying to say beforehand is that this sort of style is only really effective when you're looking for a specific mod. Like if we are really hunting vulnerability or flammability, then spamming alts like this is going to be your best option in an attempt to get that. That's pretty nice if you're playing a bleed damage build. So what we are going to do instead, because we are not really hunting that specific mod, but if we were, I would keep on doing this style of crafting. We are going to just chaos spam it and see if we can get anything interesting. If I wanted to try and force some fancy stuff, I would go about getting a bunch of physical fossils. But no luck in regards to that, because I'm going to use all my currency to try and craft the damn thing right here, right now. So, as a result, what's going to wind up happening is we're just going to pray, pretty much. But if I wanted a very optimal roll on this, I would farm physical fossils, and I would roll the shit out of it with physical fossils. Then I would catalyst it to amp up all of the attack modifiers. So I would put a bunch of attack catalysts, and it would up attack speed, physical damage, physical attacks, any other sort of stuff, increase melee damage probably, that sort of stuff. So that's what I would do for a very, very, very high-end ring in that regard. So let's make something fun, shall we? Let's try and get a nice 6-roll item if we can. Nope. Keep our eyes peeled for anything fancy. Oh, melee damage. 24% too. Tier 1 melee damage. We're close. We're getting closer. Rarity, life. Interesting, interesting. Come on. I can feel something in my loins. I can feel it coming. Melee damage again. Come on. We got almost 30 rerolls. I can feel something coming. That's nice. That's arguably, well, I mean, it's iffy. You can craft prefix. Not a bad stopping point if you're desperate. Life, tri-res, but it's all low. If that was physical attacks, or, yeah. Physical 2 attacks, and the life was a lot higher, that'd be a really good stopping point too if you're looking for a base ring. Area of effect. Man, I want something to happen. I believe. I do believe. I really do. With attacks, meh. Oh, flammability. Ooh, okay, that's not too bad. Flammability, all res, physical attacks. Rolls are kind of low, I'll be honest with you. But you can craft life, you can craft resists, you can take this in whatever option, in whatever way you want. And what you could do is if you really need flammability, you can just keep this, right? Just for flammability. And as a result, optimize your gear around the damage increase that having a curse on hit would give you. If you're playing something like Molten Strike, for example, the added damage this will give you is insane, because not only does it give you flammability on hit, which is just a bunch of damage multipliers, it also means you can take off your previous flammability stuff, however you were getting it. Most people would probably be getting it from either self-casting it, which is absolute torture, or in my case, using it as an aura, right? Which this means it now frees up mana for you to use on another aura, boosting your damage even more, right? If you turn your flammability aura into Herald of Purity or Herald of Ash, and then keep the flammability on hit instead, you're basically going up in damage for free, right? We'll put it that way. Makes it sound as simple as possible. You can trade off your flammability aura for the highest bidder in regards to damage, and just go up for free. Well, not for free, because you spent money crafting the thing, but you know what I mean. Let's see what else we can come across. We got 16 more. Let's go. Melee damage. Rarity res. Physical attacks. Yeah. Come on. Give it to me, please. Bleeding. Ooh. Not terrible. Not terrible. If you're playing a crit bleed build, that's got a lot of the things you probably want. Physical attacks, if that was a lot higher, that'd be very, very good. Life crit, tier 1 crit. Tier 1 crit's nice. Bleed and cold res. If you're playing a bleed crit build, this is a good place to stop. Well, obviously you can get better, but it is a rather good place to stop. Nope. All res crit multi. Okay. We're getting closer. We're running low on orbs now. Rarity, Chaos Res. Yeah. Well, a bunch of resistances, but nothing too great, really. I was hoping for something sort of explosive like I got before, but I guess it's just not fated to be this time, huh? Maybe not. I was looking for some kind of like a miraculous sort of setup of like stats and whatnot. We got the flammability. We had it show up, so that's nice. Haven't seen vulnerability yet, though. That's how rare it actually is. Just to explain, right? Yeah. Still no, what is it? Still no vulnerability. Feels fucking bad, man. Ah, well. Alright. Let's roll through the rest of our alterations and see if we can get anything snazzy. Well, I need to keep a few for the flask video, but I can roll through a lot of these fellows and see if we can get anything cool. We're looking for suffix vulnerability or just a melee mod as well. Strength, yeah. Melee damage, life regen. We want melee damage and like a good roll on it. A good roll like together. Prefix rarity, suffix rarity. A man can dream. Almost. All res. Nope. It's just not happening, is it? We started off so well with the double tier 1 rolls, and then it just fizzled out, I guess. Rarity, all res. Not bad. Not bad. AoE dex. Max life dex. Crit multi. Big money. High life, crit multi. Okay, not bad, not bad. I'm looking for some fancy stuff, man. It's not happening. Fist to attacks, cold res, all res, fire damage. Man, the blow your socks off got consumed in the last episode, I guess. Keep at it. Melee damage, rarity. You know, honestly, I'll take it. Okay, well, I won't take that. That's kind of underwhelming. That kind of sucks. Ah, well. Not good enough. Not good enough. Not even fucking close. Rarity. Come on. Give me a good roll. Give me melee damage and attack speed. Or something like that. That's not bad. Just got the same item again. Rarity, life. It just didn't happen. AoE. I mean, AoE's prefix. Yeah, it's just not happening, I guess. Currency sinks, man. They get you. They always get you. Well, I've had a lot of good places to stop. I'm just going for God tier. I'm going for broke at this point. Put it that way. Okay, well that's kind of counterintuitive because elemental abilities can't bleed to my knowledge depending on what you use, but still. I'm quite literally going for broke at this point, so let's see if we hit anything. Come on. You can do it. I believe in you. I'm looking for some really high damage stuff here. I want a miracle. Give it to me, please. Please. I'm begging you here. Remember how I said some items are cursed in the previous episodes? I think I found one. I think I found myself a cursed item. Alright. We'll roll through another stack or so. And then we'll call it a day, I think. And I'll tell you how I would go about crafting this if I was to force the best of the best items. If I wanted to force this into a good item. I will hop over to my other character and show you how to go about that. Rarity, like I said, I found some good stopping points, but it's just I'm going for perfection here. But I don't want the video. There we go. Hey, okay. If it was all higher, if it was all higher, it would be good. Okay, attack speed's tier 1, AoE is good. If the added fizz was higher, it'd be a lot better. But something like that with higher added fizz, and then from there you can craft whatever you want. You can multi-mod whatever you want. You can multi-mod crit, because we've got 2 suffixes. So you put on, actually, it's suffix, multi-mod is a suffix. So you get 1 suffix there. You would get 1 prefix, 1 suffix with multi-mod on this. So you can get crit something, and then life, I guess. Kind of sucks that I hit fizz to attacks, because if I hit, what was it? Crit, I could go crit again, and it would just be crit multi, crit chance. Well, actually, crit multi is better than crit chance, right? So you can go multi-mod, crit multi, max life? Yeah, I guess. I mean, all in all, something like this with a higher fizz roll is kind of what I was trying to showcase. With, you can get, you know, crit multi. I would have liked a melee damage roll in here somewhere, but I guess it just wasn't happening. So that's a pretty good endpoint. I think I'm gonna burn through another stack, but that's a good endpoint. Higher fizz damage, add more to it, however you wish to. But that's the sort of concept of a melee damage ring that I would recommend. I go rather quick for a little bit just to see if I can get anything extra snazzy. Come on. Really, man? Oh. Alright. We shall call it there. Because it just isn't going to give me like a melee damage combination. Happens sometimes. Especially with that sort of strategy. Now, what I could also do, and what I'm going to recommend you do when you're doing these sorts of things, is to go into Delve and farm yourself some fossils. The fossils I am going to recommend is a physical fossil, a jagged fossil, that will give you the highest odds of getting a very, very, very good roll and setup on your Warlord's Ring. It's what I've done in the past, and I would go about getting these fellas, find out how to farm them. I don't remember exactly where they're from. But use these fellas and put them in the 1-socket resonator and just slam it over and over and over and over again till you get something out of this fucking world. That would be my recommendation. That is how I would do it. And you will eventually hit something with melee damage, fizz, attack speed. Basically what I got earlier with the attack speed, the AoE, all that sort of stuff. But everything would be a lot higher and a lot better. Hopefully. Right? If it's not, keep rolling it. Just keep going and going and going until you eventually get something snazzy. You know, if you're going for damage, go all out, right? Like I said, it's an investment piece. That's why I rolled through so much currency, like over 200-ish alts, to try and find cool stuff. Still didn't find vulnerability, by the way, so the chances on that are damn low. We got flammability, though. But still, you see what I mean in regards to, like, weighting, right? Or stat weighting. Put it that way. Yeah, so essentially I would put that in a 1-slot resonator, slam it repeatedly, and then I would go and get attack modifiers for catalysts, and I would quality it to 20. So the ring that I had previously of attack speed, AoE, fizz damage, I would 20 quality, and it would up all of the attack speed as well as the added fizz, and I think the AoE as well, I'm pretty sure. But if melee damage was on it, it would up the melee damage. If there was anything else on it as well regarding physical stuff, it would up that as well. So jagged fossils and then abrasive catalysts are my recommendation for getting that ring to be better than what I managed. I could, of course, sit here for an hour and burn through all my currency and, you know, see if we get anything, but I'm not really in the mood to do that right now. So I feel like I showed you pretty much everything I could in regards to rings and in regards to just gear in general. Like I said, it does get kind of samey. By this episode, by the end of it, basically, I am, of course, getting a little bit tired of saying, well, life tri-res on everything and explaining how to do life tri-res crafting, but people genuinely showed that they wanted that for whatever reason. I don't know why particularly, but, you know, I basically showed in the first video that all of the styles of crafting that I use, and I feel like I've been repeating myself for 7 episodes, I guess. There's 6 episodes. I still have to do one more of how to craft flasks, which is basically just transmute and alt augment until you get what you want. But there's another part I'll be adding to that and during the video. But yeah, I don't know. It feels like I'm a fucking broken record at this point. But covering what roles to go for, I think, is what people were looking for. Like, you know, going for melee damage, going for physical attacks, why you go for it. I think that's what people wanted and why they enjoyed the previous episodes so much, because I covered so much in regards to what to get on chest pieces, what to get on weapons. Like, it wasn't just the strategy, it was the strategy plus what you actually want to stop at, what you want to aim for. And hopefully, in that case, I was able to help people. I hope so. I do still have one more episode to do, obviously, but it's going to be a smaller episode, and I assume most people are going to stop here, and I don't blame you for that one. But if you've made it to this point, and along the way I have helped you, if you wouldn't mind, I am going to self-shill, because we're... Well, how many hours are we behind? Think about it. Probably about a half hour per episode past like the first 2, so 2 hours plus, I'd say, give or take 4 or 5 hours. You probably watched 5 to 6 hours of my content in regards to crafting if you've made it this far, and you've watched a lot of me. So I think watching about 6 to 7 hours of me crafting stuff allows me to shill at least once, which is going to be me saying, if you wouldn't mind, if I did help you out, if you could head over to the Patreon and just take a look around, you know, see if any of the tiers interest you. I would appreciate it a lot, if anyone's able to support me, obviously. Because gotta keep the lights on somehow, and I'm not a big fan of asking for money and donations and what have you, but hopefully the new updated tiers will allow you to feel like you're getting your bang for your buck, so I can help you out with more PoE stuff in regards to pretty much anything, depending what tier you what tier you choose. I also have options for like Path of Exile coaching and that sort of stuff. So if you think that, if you thought at any point during these series of videos, hey, this guy actually kind of knows what he's talking about, I wonder what his opinion on X or Y would be. Well, for a tenner, I can tell you. It's that simple, really. And I think after the infinite amounts of content that I've put out regarding PoE, I might be able to maybe ask for a crumb of finance, maybe. Alright. Anyways, that is going to bring us to the end of this episode, and to the end of the sort of big overarching series. I am still going to do the Flasks episode, but it's going to be a small sort of like 8 to 10 minute one that's really, really quick. But yeah, in regards to all of this, I hope the series helped people. I'm glad to be able to actually say that I fucking finished something. So yeah, that's quite nice. It feels odd. It does feel like I was a broken record for a little bit there, but still. I also recorded all of this in one day, so I'm not going to be able to talk tomorrow. If you're wondering what it's like to be a YouTuber doing things like this. It's pretty brutal sometimes, but I mean, I do it for you guys. I enjoy teaching people, and yeah, talking for 5+ hours, if not longer, non-stop is pretty damn difficult. I would not recommend it. My throat is going to probably kill me tomorrow, but I'm going to be uploading tomorrow. I'm not going to be talking tomorrow, am I? So, I got 7 videos to upload. Not going to be a whole lot of talking. Going to be a lot of staring at a screen, waiting for upload timers to tick up. But yeah, that's enough of me rambling on and what have you. You don't really want that, I don't think. But yeah, hope the series helped you. And if it did, do let me know down below. Consider sharing it to some friends if they need help as well. I am here to help with whatever I can. Put it that simply. In regards to more PoE content, I'm going to say don't expect it. I'm just going to put it that simple for you. I don't really plan on playing PoE very much, or at all, really. If there is guide videos that I can make for people within my means, I will do so. Right? If there's something people want, let me know. If it's wanted by a lot of people, I will make it for you. Right? If I have the means to do so and the ability to do so, and I already understand the topics, I can talk about them, explain them to you. It'll work, right? Let me know if there's anything specific you want that I've probably already done that you want explained, and I will do my best to explain it. Right. So, yeah. Alright. Thank you guys for watching the series, and as always, I shall see you in the next one. Take care, gentlemen.